everybody. Dewey here with Jamal again. We're doing another vlog. This time we won't have any disruptions from the big cheese, so it'll be a little more professional without, you know, the attire we had the last time with our fabulous ties. But our topic for the day is going to be the Egyptian pyramids and any outside help, we shall say. Myths about how they were created. Received. So, Jamal, what did you come up with this time?
Well, basically, just some quick information. They were made roughly 5,000 years ago.
5,000 years ago, or
5,000 BC?
All right,
correct me there.
Sorry. All right.
So about 5,000 BC, it covered about 13 acres of land, and there are about 2.3 million limestone blocks were used to create the pyramids in Egypt.
Is that just one of the pyramids, or is that all of them? Do you know?
I believe that's all of them.
Okay.
And what is written down, or what is accepted right now, is how they were built is that slaves were ordered to build them, and they dragged the stones. They used wooden ramps to drag the stones up the pyramid to put them in place. But
that's kind of weird because these pyramids aren't like small. They're pretty big, and they'd have to have a lot of wooden ramps and a lot of big old people.
Yeah, that's the thing, because with the tools they used back then, modern scientists, some people just believe that there's no way they would have had that. They would have been able to make a pyramid of that size and of that perfection with the tools they had. That there must have been. They must have had some kind of help, or unless we haven't discovered how exactly they were made. But from what is accepted, it's hard to imagine or hard to believe that they were able to do that with the tools they had and get that kind of perfection.
And like all the scientific measures they got going on, I don't even think we could do that these days.
It'd be tough.
Down to the precise decimal place even.
And then there's a myth that this Egyptian guy named Zorid, he was, I don't know, he received like this power from an Egyptian god, and he was able to ask aliens for help because he got information that there was going to be a great flood, and he wanted to preserve these some information. So
is this around the time of like Noah?
That's what I'm pretty sure with the great flood they're talking about it. Yeah, the deep flood.
Does that like the pyramids being made like around 5,000 BC? Is that when Noah was around, or?
I'm not sure. That's why I don't know if I'm not entirely sure if it is that flood or if it's a different flood. But like,
well, that's the only flood.
Yeah, like that. But there could have been a flood in Egypt.
Maybe.
So anyway, he knew there was going to be a flood, and so he asked aliens to build structures to conserve certain things, and they obliged. That was one thing. You know, take it for what it's worth. It's a myth.
So what did he want conserved? Like just certain artifacts,
yeah,
or
information,
like Pharaoh? Is that like what all the hieroglyphics are explaining in there, or what?
I'm not entirely sure exactly, but it's just from what I read, he knew there was going to be a flood, and he wanted some stuff preserved, and he said, hey.
So was he able to like communicate with God or like a higher power, like Noah was able to, like, because Noah got his information from God about how there was going to be a flood and how God wanted to wash out all the evil people and everything like that. Was he able to do that and then save certain things because God thought it was necessary for?
Sent by like an Egyptian god is what that myth is saying.
All right, so not like a Christianity god.
No, just like a Greek god, an Egyptian god,
all right,
anything like that.
All right.
And then another myth, and this is kind of interesting, that the pyramids were designed by God. And in the book of Isaiah, it mentioned about building an altar to God in Egypt. And the height of the pyramids is 5,449 inches, And in the book of in Isaiah, when you add up the Hebrew letters together with when you match the number with the letter in the text, it adds up to 5,449, the exact same. It's the height of.
Right.
Height
Like,
of
can you explain that? Like, what's that? Like, the letter to the number.
like if like I don't know if like A was 1 is the first letter of the alphabet, so A would be a 1 and B would be a 2. If that's how they did it, I don't know. It just said adding the Hebrew letters they match with the number. So I'm guessing it's along those lines. But it was interesting because
I don't speak Hebrew, so
when you add them up to, if they add up to the exact same thing in the height, it makes you kind of that's interesting. Is it coincidence?
Well, that's just a thing, like these Egyptians, their measurements, it's like all these pyramids, even like the Mayan, their pyramids, and they're all precise, they're all, it's like they had such a knowledge of astronomical measures and things of that nature that it's hard to believe that these people were just people.
It is some extraordinary stuff, and it makes you wonder: did they have help, or did they do it on their own? And when you talked about their knowledge of astronomy, another little interesting fact or whatever is that the perimeter of the base of the pyramids is 36,542, or excuse me, 36,524.2 inches. This is the perimeter of the base of the pyramids, and
365.
And that is the same as the solar, or our solar year now is 365.242, which is it's the exact same number. It's just except move the decimal place over. So I mean, it's again something to think about. The base of the pyramids it matches the exact same number.
Like, I don't know, like, are all these pyramids in Egypt, are they all the same size?
I believe so.
Because I've never been to Egypt, but you'll see stuff on TV, and another thing I remember, I don't know if this is true or not, but I remember hearing something like the 3 pyramids, right, there's 3, right?
There's 3 pyramids.
Yeah. They're placed in a way where it's like, I thought it was like Orion's belt, You know how there's like 3, in the constellation, there's like 3 stars.
That's 3 stars.
And they're kind of placed in a formation where like one's in front and like 2 are just a little off this, like behind and off this side,
Okay.
So, and I know that's how the pyramids are. So is that again something like, those stars? They're so far away. They're not necessarily in our galaxy. They could be somewhere else, and maybe those pyramids were placed from those stars because maybe that's where their help came from.
Perhaps, who knows? It's a heavily talked about topic, and people just have a hard time believing that they were able to make something so precise. And
well, like, I want to know how long it took them to make the pyramids. Like, they said, like, we found out that they were made around 5,000 BC, but how long did it take them? 100 years, 1,000 years, If they were able to find out when they were made or finished, can they find out how long it took them to make, like, carbon date the bottom one, the top one? And I mean, if it's not that long, and it's not, what's the word I'm looking for, like, logical, that it could be made by humans in that time period, in a certain amount of time, it'd be pretty obvious that they got outside help from somewhere.
Interesting topic, to say the least. It makes you think. But I don't know. You guys can let us know what you guys think. Leave a comment. Let us know if you have any information, or just.
Because I mean, like, we just did this shortly. We needed to get another video up, so we don't know a whole lot about it, but like, we've always thought this stuff was interesting, and we want to know more and see what you guys know and see what it helps with our theories or supports anything that we found, so
Thanks for watching. See you next time.